Well, hello and welcome to the San Angelo Live Studios. I'm Manny Diaz, and joining us today is a mayoral candidate. She's going to be challenging Brenda Gunter this May for mayor of the City of San Angelo, Ms. Silvara Lawson.
Hi, it's nice to see you. Thank you for having me come out.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being able to chat with you. You announced your candidacy here recently, so we were like, you know what, we got to do this. We just got to see what she's about here. So
yes, sir.
So here we are. Nonetheless, you're from San Angelo. I'll let you kind of explain or tell us a little bit about yourself, just for the folks that you're well known here, but
Yes,
for the
sir.
folks that may haven't heard of Silvara Lawson, give us a little insight, a little taste of who you are here.
Well, I was born in Okinawa, Japan. My dad was in the Special Forces, and we lived in Washington State till about '99. My mom and them decided it was time to move to Texas, so we moved down here to San Angelo, and I've been here ever since. I went to Goliad, Lincoln, and graduated from Lakeview, and I don't know, I've just been raised here, and I love it out here. I love the people, I love the city, I love everything that we have to offer. It's been a really good time, and now I get to raise my kids here, so.
A little North Side pride. Gotta love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got to ask you this. So we have Brenda Gunter here. She's been a fantastic mayor for the last few years. But here you are. You're running for mayor. Was there anything that maybe inspired you, whether it was in the last 12 months, 24 months, or whenever time frame that was, that says, you know what, I think I'm going to throw my name in the ring there?
Well, I've always been a big person that wanted to see others stand up. I've been around and I've talked to many people, not just being your realtor, but even bartending, and I've always heard common issues that would come up, and a lot of people feel like they're not being heard. They're just kind of feel like they're being ignored. And now I know everyone's done a great job so far, but I feel like there can be alternative ways to actually bring about a solution, and I'm all about trying to do different solutions, because sometimes the old ideas don't necessarily always work. Sometimes it's good to have fresh ideas brought to the picture. So
now, you did mention, you're running as an independent, so someone that's trying to stay the middle of the line there, not really trying to get wrapped up in both sides. What kind of went into that decision there?
Well, after speaking with several people over the years, most of us fall in the middle line. I have a great respect for both sides. I see the right and wrong on both sides, but I have views that match up. Ultimately, we all have the same goal, and lately we've been fighting and we've been played against each other, and that's not ever going to fix or help us find a solution to make our community thrive. Ultimately, I would like to see more people like me try to bring together unity and create a common solution, because that's the only way you're going to ever do well in life. And I'm running because, I'm sick of, like I told you, I'm sick of the people fighting. Right. It's time we come together as a community and try to fix something together, instead of being, I go with this person, that person. It's time to break that chain.
Yeah, very interesting approach. Let's talk a little bit about what you would kind of bring to the city of San Angelo. Brenda Gunter, she's kind of been a lot about economic development, yes. Planes, trains, and automobiles, transportation, things like that, but also with commercial and industrial type companies like that. As far as your views on that, where does Silvara Lawson's ideas come into play when it comes to enhancing economic development here in the city of San Angelo?
I agree with her on that. I think that's very important. We do need to grow as a community. I would really like to see more options for jobs for not only younger but everyone. I would like to see more big tech come through here. I would really, really like to see more companies come through that give more activities for our kids, for our families, for people that want to do more than just kind of go out about. And I would love to see us have a resort kind for our family with dirt bike riding, go-kart race, and just like one big place where everyone can afford to go. Something affordable, but it'd be fun for everybody to go out there and experience. It's something totally different.
Let's make it a San Angelo attraction.
Yes. Well, and that's how a city thrives. It's always healthy to bring in extra tourism and extra people out here. I mean, it's going to help us in the long run. And plus, it'd give us more fun and more things to do with our kids, more things to do with your friends, more things to do when you're a young adolescent teenager with going with your boyfriend or girlfriend. It would give us a different approach, and I think the citizens, and I think everyone would really benefit from that.
Certainly. Housing is another big thing.
Yes.
Certainly when it comes to affordable housing, whether it be the developer who wants to maybe create housing, apartment housing, or perhaps and perhaps put it in certain areas of town. For example, whether it goes in a Southland area of town, or as we're seeing in Bentwood. How do you balance that? Whether you want to create affordable housing, or you want to create that type of housing balanced versus in certain areas of town where maybe they don't want to see those type of elements in a particular neighborhood.
Well, that's kind of a tough one, because a lot of people, they just don't quite understand. I think it's a good idea to bring in and have extra options. I mean, the more competition there is for affordable housing, the better. It helps keep pricing and everything down. It really is going to help out majority of our citizens. I do know, just buying a house as is, I mean, we are low on inventory.
Right.
Anything under 200,000 and goes up, and it's gone. And that's great, but it also limits a lot of people and a lot of families that are needing a place to stay. And I understand both sides of the spectrum. I mean, I can see where people wouldn't want to have that, but on the same token, I mean, it could also be beneficial to the community as a whole. Mm-hmm. I would deem it necessary, but it's just something, do your research on it. If you have questions and you have concerns, do your research on it. Just kind of figure out and create your own opinion on how you feel about that. And if you want to present it, then present that. Just try and I'm trying to find the right wording for this.
Yeah, well, you're somewhat, you understand those things. As a realtor, you see that, you have to see that on a daily basis, certainly when it comes to that. So, and you seem to be a very transparent person.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that, and obviously you want to be able. You said that you want to be able to share ideas.
Well, I've always believed that in order for all of us to be successful, we have to come together. And as a realtor, I've always been very transparent with my clients. I tell them what to expect, the good and the bad, mm-hmm. because in all reality, if something just pops up and I didn't explain it to them, it never works out good. Right. And that creates a lack of trust between me and my client. Absolutely. And they're my friends. My slogan is, you're a realtor, you're a friend, because I'm friends with every single body that I've helped out through. And there's people that I still see. I mean, they had babies, but that's a relationship that I created with them because I was very transparent. Right. And taking that into what I'm doing now and what I want to do for a community, I would do the same thing. I want to be the bridge that connects our citizens to our city officials, because we need to be heard. People need to be heard. We need to feel like we care, and there's people out there that may not want to speak up, but they have better ideas than others, and I think they have a right to be heard they just have a right to be heard. And I would love to be able to have the chance to explain to people why this is going to work, why that's not going to work. Right. And I think if you could explain that to everyone, I think people would be more at ease. Absolutely. Instead of feeling like, oh, well, we have to go fishing for this. And, the less questions you can create, I think the happier we would be as a whole.
COVID-19 has been a big topic. I'm assuming that you've probably had to field a lot of different questions about that.
Yes.
Since you announced your candidacy. What's been your response to certain things like that when it comes to people saying, okay, are you for keeping us open, or what type of things have you been saying, responding to that?
That's a tough one, because everyone has their views on everything. They have separate views on that one, and I want to see us stay open, because the longer we stay locked down, I mean, that's hurting all of my small business friends. I mean, yes, there's ways that could help them out, but ultimately you can't always expect the government to take care of you. That's only for a little bit, and that's going to probably take care of you for a short time. And but on the other hand, I mean, people are really worried about their health and their loved ones' health, and that That's a solution that, it'll come. I believe that yes, we should follow our safety measures. I know the vaccine's coming out and everyone has their worries about that, but I would like to see a lot of us try to put our best foot forward, and if we want to stay open and we want to get through this pandemic, then we all need to get together, form the correct solution that we all can agree on so we can stay open, so we can remain, and we can actually have family gatherings. We can have more events that goes on in town that brings us together versus keeping us apart. Everyone's going crazy being kept apart like we have. Yeah. I know myself, I wear my mask everywhere, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care for it too much, but it's necessary. And I mean, I'm not the person, if I'm sick, I'm not gonna go out and about, but for someone else's peace of mind, I'm willing to wear that because, it's a sign of respect towards them. So it's a touchy subject, but it's one that we can get through together. Yeah. We just got to find a common ground.
Here recently, and to kind of shift gears, and we saw there was, speaking of finding common ground and trying to bridge a gap, there was a certain member of a certain group here in town that referred to you as an exotic dancer, if you will, something of that nature. And it wasn't, your husband was not too sad. I mean, if my wife or my loved one, if somebody said that, I think I'd feel the same way about that. Your thoughts on that, and certainly, what do you want people to know about you when it comes to things like that?
I have a lot of friends that are in that industry, and they are some of the nicest people I've ever met. They are women, male and female. They are just they chose that to help put food, to help pay their bills. I don't judge someone just off of their occupation. Right. I've been friends with everyone from all walks of life. When it comes to me and my family, I chose not to go down that route. I was a ballerina. I danced with Sierra Nevada Ballet up in Reno, Nevada for a while. Wow. I went to Nashville. I've done all kinds of stuff. As far as his comment about me, though, it was very crude. It was definitely unnecessary. I've never even met the man.
Wow.
Never even met the man.
Okay.
And I hope this is okay for me to ask. I would like an apology from him, because that is a rumor that not only affects me, it affects my kids. I have 2 elementary kids. It's something that it's more hurtful than it is helping. And not only is it a dig at me, it's also going against those that do work in that industry, and that's not fair. That's not fair to judge someone when you haven't even met them. Yeah. I would say that he should really think about being a professional again and not opening your mouth when
Valid point. Valid point.
Get to know who you're talking about before you bring up such an instance. Absolutely. And yes.
Last question for you. As I imagine you're going to be hitting the campaign trail, you're going to be knocking on doors, meeting people within social distancing, of course, for all those that are watching here at home. But why should someone vote for Silvara Lawson?
Because I want to bring unity to all of us. It's time that we stop fighting amongst each other. We are all friends. We all have the same common goal. We want to survive. We want to do well. We want to flourish together. We have so many dreams, and it can be accomplished. I plan on opening up avenues for younger people, older and younger, whoever wants to go somewhere. I want to give them extra ways to have a new job, do a career. I would like to do internships for kids, to let them go and work at, say they want to be in medical, let them go work in the summertime. I have ways. I want to do stuff for our community as a whole. I will never make a promise that I can't keep, but I'll do my best, my absolute best, to make sure that we try and get these solutions figured out. We try to get our roads fixed. We try to fix our water mains. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that's been done that's been very good, but there's also been a lot that's just been forgotten about. Absolutely. And I'm not going to forget you. I've never forgotten anyone that I've come into contact with, and I'm going to do my best for all of us in San Angelo and Tom Green County. I'm going to try and make y'all proud.
There we go. Well, Silvara Lawson, the pride of the North Side, graduate of Lakeview High School. She is running for mayor. The election will wrap up this May, so Until then, imagine we'll hear more from her. Imagine this isn't going to be the first time that we chat with Miss Lawson, but nonetheless, I'm Manny Diaz for Silvara Lawson. We will see you next time.
Thank you.